A major XRP ETF gets approved by the SEC to go live this week, and another XRP ETF gets listed on the Brazilian stock exchange. I'll give you the details on both, and there's a major hack on a Solana DeFi protocol. I'll give you the details. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin because, of course, this past week we had a very strong rally upwards and we're seeing a bit of a pullback, which is very healthy because if you look at Bitcoin on a daily, the RSI hit 70. So that means we were overbought. So this is normal. This is healthy, and it's not going to be a straight line up to new all-time highs. We've seen this before. It's going to be a stair step, right? We're going to pump, pull back, build support levels, then pump again. But when you look at the higher time frame of the weekly chart, it still looks bullish with actually a breakout happening on the weekly RSI. And of course, I've been sharing with you guys the MACD. That is showing bears are losing momentum with the red candles getting lighter and smaller, and it should flip green hopefully in a couple of weeks. But this looks good. We are on the path to recovery, to going back to some of those prices we hit in Q4, and then we're looking for new all-time highs. So this looks like the start of a major rally moving upward. But like I said, it's going to be a process. We're going to stair step our way out of here. So this looks really good on the weekly. Now, of course, all of this is happening in the context of the DXY, the dollar currency index correcting significantly and global liquidity continuing to pump and break out. And we know risk assets follow global liquidity. So the conditions are here for this bull market to continue. If these things were not happening, I would say, okay, I'm concerned that this may be a fake rally and that the bull market was over. But we have the conditions and the critical support levels have not been broken. And, there have been a lot of people saying bear market's here, bull market's over, right? But they don't give you data. I've been sharing the data with you guys and why my thesis was that the bull market's not over. And what we're seeing is that Bitcoin spot ETF in the United States continues to get inflows. There was a period of nothing happening, right? Actually, a lot of selling. Now we're seeing inflows on the rise again. And the ETFs logged about $3 billion this past week. In addition, on-chain data from Sentiment shows that Bitcoin whales continue to accumulate. So there was a massive spike over the past couple of days. And this is on-chain data, right? This is wallets with 10 or more Bitcoin. It continues to rise. And we have seen the slowdown in late February into early March with profit taking from the Q4 run-up plus the tariff sell pressure, and then a bottoming out, and then some sideways movement, a breakout upwards, some more sideways movement, and now a huge spike, guys. So the whales are anticipating higher prices. Hope you see what's happening here. Now, the big news, and this has been circulating across X and different social platforms, and that is the SEC has approved the ProShares XRP ETF, and this is expected to go live on April 30th, so this week. But is it a spot ETF? No, it is a futures ETF. So we are seeing the things that happen for Bitcoin and Ethereum happening for XRP. So let's break it down because many people are going to have knee-jerk reactions. Oh, it's futures. That means you're going to short it. Well, of course. But a healthy balanced market has spot and futures. We've seen this with traditional assets as well as Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is not something to be panicked about. It's actually good because the SEC required this for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I think they are going to require it for XRP, Solana, and other ETFs. And they're going to approve the spot ETFs, in my opinion, with especially the CME launching futures. So I want to share something that user Armando Pantoja said. He summarized it really well. He said, first, Wall Street attention. Big players have a way to trade XRP. This is going to allow more capital to flow into the asset. Number two, mainstream legitimacy. XRP is officially entering the elite league. Number three, momentum builder. Futures ETFs paved the way for spot ETF approvals. So once you understand how this all works and you get past the emotional reaction of it, it is all good. And look, guys, if you become educated and sophisticated enough to use leverage, you can play the market both ways. So in the bull market, you're long, you're not necessarily using leverage there. you're kind of doing spot holding and then you take your profits. But then if you know we're entering into a bear market and prices are going to fall anyway, you can short XRP. That's how institutional investors do it. That's a smart way to do it. But you got to know what you're doing when it comes to leverage. Spot is easy because you buy the low, sell the high, versus leverage, you're gambling. Now, if you know with high probability that we are entering the bear market, because let's say the Fed is raising rates, we see overall risk assets are rising, the dollar is going up again, right? You see the conditions, like we're looking at the conditions now for the bull market, the conditions change and flip for the bear market. You can open a short on XRP. So you can make money both ways. But once again, you got to know what you're doing. You got to get educated about using leverage, and it is risky. So just understand that. But guys, overall bullish, because it is opening up XRP to be in the league of Bitcoin and Ethereum when it comes to institutional investors and much more. But look at this. XRP is getting global attention with ETFs. And the reason I'm sharing this news, some people may say, well, what about other ETFs? Well, other ETFs are not getting approved, but XRP is. And it is, of course, the third largest asset behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. And XRP H11, the world's first XRP ETF, another crypto milestone on the Brazilian stock exchange. HashDex just launched XRP H11, giving investors secure and regulated access to XRP, one of the leading crypto assets focused on fast, low-cost international payments. They said XRP H11 is HashDex's ninth crypto ETF in Brazil and our 33rd product globally. So this is huge on the Brazilian stock exchange. Guys, remember when I said years ago, I'm talking 2018, 2019, that crypto will be trading on stock exchanges? It's happening, and it's going to happen here in the United States as well. It's incredible. And like I said, it won't just be XRP. It's going to be other altcoins. Solana and others are going to get approved. But of course, this is a huge win for XRP, given what happened with Gary Gensler and the SEC and much more, and Ripple. I mean, it's a complete 180 from how things were 4 years ago. All right, guys, quick word from our sponsor, that is Uphold. This is a great place you can buy XRP, altcoins, Bitcoin, and much more. In fact, they just added staking rewards for 19 cryptocurrencies. I've been using Uphold since 2018. They're easy to use, they're safe to use. And folks, they have 300 plus cryptocurrencies on their platform, and they don't commingle or lend out your crypto funds. You can review their transparency report. They are 100% reserved. And folks, they have a great rewards program where you can earn up to 5.25% on stablecoins, and you can get 24-hour early access to new coins. So to participate, you open the app once per month, deposit $50 once per month, and trade $50 once per month. And the stablecoins they support are Circle's USDC, Ripple's RLUSD, and PayPal's PYUSD. You get 5% on those, and you get 5.25% on USBC. So if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, check out the link in the description. Now, guys, some not so good news. Solana DeFi protocol Loopscale hit with a $5.8 million exploit 2 weeks after launch. So I know I've said this many times that I'm still cautiously optimistic about DeFi because all of the potential risks have not been mitigated as yet, because we're still in the early days. And I believe DeFi will be a big market as this asset class matures, and especially as institutional players come in. But right now, there's still some vulnerabilities, I think. And I've often stated that 1.0 or version 1 of anything is going to have bugs and flaws, and you want to wait and let it get fixed before you go put your money on it. So, for example, this protocol was just launched 2 weeks ago, and I would not be putting my money on it right away. I want to see what's going to happen, in case in point, right? So this is why we got to be careful, even because we are so early, guys. This is like, going and shopping online in 1995. It was not perfect. There were hacks and things that were happening, but eventually further iteration made it better, where it became safer and easier to use. It's the same thing here, right? I hope you understand the analogy, and we gotta be careful. So just be careful when you're using DeFi protocols. Now we got an interesting article here from CoinDesk about GameFi. GameFi tokens show signs of life after Gala Games' White House tie-up. So Gala Games' Easter event at the White House hints at a potential fresh chapter for GameFi. So GameFi, I believe big time in this because the gaming community, the gaming world is huge. A lot of people play video games. I play sometimes, not as much as I used to, but we know this is a big part of our pop culture and society. And there are huge, huge communities behind certain games. And I think once Web3 companies are able to get this right, the incentive right, and I've often talked about can the rewards, the NFTs and the tokens you win in the game or you get in the game be interoperable with the real world where I can take it to a merchant and spend it and do that. That's not fully there yet. We need the infrastructure, but once it gets there, guys, watch out because it will be easy to then use these tokens in the real world. And that's the big incentive. But if you can't use them outside the game, the incentive is not that great, right? It's not as strong to pull in mainstream users who are going to say, wow, I like this game and I could win tokens and then I could use the tokens in the real world. That would be perfect. So, as mentioned, Gala Games partnered with the White House to bring blockchain-based Easter egg hunt at the 2025 Easter egg roll. So this is a great thing. The fact that they were able to do this. So the White House officials' X account had mentioned this, around April 21st, and the Gala token has risen roughly 18% since the announcement, and GameFi tokens went up 13%, and the broader crypto market, as measured by CoinDesk index, rose 8%. So that's very good sign. There was some hype around this in the last bull market, but not as much as DeFi summer. But I think there's a big untapped market here, and they just got to get the infrastructure. They have to form the partnerships with the Amazons and the Walmarts and the places people go to buy and Starbucks, right? And get the app right where you can convert to tokens easily, use the NFTs to get rewards in the real world with different merchants. That would be huge, but this is a very good sign. And let's see if these gaming projects are able to get the infrastructure up and going. Now, final news item here, Stripe tests new stablecoin project as $3.7 trillion market looms. So guys, the stablecoin wars are heating up. Big players, everyone is trying to get as much stablecoin adoption as possible. Just this past week, I reported that Coinbase and PayPal expanded their partnerships. So you're just seeing big moves happening. So Stripe is preparing to test a new stablecoin payments product aimed at companies based outside the United States, the UK, and the European Union. The company's CEO, Patrick Collison, confirmed on social media that Stripe had been planning this offering for nearly a decade and is now opening it up to pilot users. Nearly a decade, wow. The announcement comes after Stripe received regulatory approval to acquire Bridge, a payments platform founded by former Coinbase executives Zach Abrams and Sean Yu. Bridge's infrastructure offers an alternative to traditional systems like Swift for cross-border transactions. If you guys recall, this was at one point the largest acquisition in the crypto market. It was about at $1 billion. I mean, this is just massive. So Stripe's stablecoin pilot project comes at a time when companies ranging from crypto firms to TradFi banks are piling into the industry, trying to grab a piece of the red hot sector. In fact, Citi said stablecoins could be a chat GPT moment for blockchain adoption, and the market, primarily pegged to the US dollar, could grow up to $3.7 trillion by 2030 with regulatory support. Guys, I know I've mentioned this many times, but Bank of America CEO just about a month ago, he said once US stablecoin regulations pass, the bank is going to launch a stablecoin. So you're going to see the stablecoin market grow and it's going to be huge. And the US government wants this because it will help support the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. And obviously, these stablecoin issuers, their reserves are going to be backed by US Treasury. So it's a win-win. But competition is heating up. It's fascinating to watch this play out, guys. Incredible stuff. Well, folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Guys, a great way you can support me in the podcast is by checking out my email newsletter. It's 100% free. Be sure to sign up. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course on crypto that teaches you every aspect of the crypto market. And best of all, it includes expert commentary, You will hear from founders, CEOs, and institutional investors. No other course offers that. So you'll have videos, full text write-ups, downloadable materials, and much more. So if you'd like to learn more, go to mycryptocourse.com. Guys, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.